Welcome to SBTV. This is Zach Luya. I'm here with House Representative Tom Burroughs out of Kansas City. And Representative Burroughs, you are the Assistant Minority Leader for the House, right? And the Democrats there. Just a couple quick questions about what's going on in Topeka this session. We've seen a lot of things from Governor Brownback: decreased funding for education, guns in schools, removal of local control, assault on workers' rights. Kind of overall, what's your general impression of what has happened this legislative session?
Well, what we've seen is the administration is just not set on governing, but an administration that's set on dictating. And when you start taking away the opportunity of the public to be heard in an open forum known as clear quality communication in any forum that may be set, it's quite difficult to challenge policy as it moves forward. And this governor is trying to silence every branch, from the executive branch to the legislative branch to the judicial branch, take control of those and craft a message that he believes is tantamount to a dictator.
Okay. No, what is that underlying message here? You know, we always hear that Republicans are for small government, but in reality, we're looking at them kind of taking away local control from municipalities and counties. What is their underlying goal here?
Well, they're for local control as long as they're controlling you locally. And this administration, as I stated, is adamant about controlling the tax policy, the budget policy, education policy, judicial policy, but they're not wanting to govern. They're not able to govern, and we've spent 74 days in the legislative process, and in that 74 days, as you stated, Zach, we have been this administration has been anti-labor, anti-worker, anti-public education, anti-woman, anti-everything, and has been really anti-Kansas. And we should be very concerned about that. He wants to continue to compare us, he being Governor Brownback, wants to continue to compare us to Oklahoma, Texas, and Florida, that we should be more like them. Well, you know what? We're Kansans. We should be more like Kansas.
Definitely, we have the proud history of a progressive background, and so I want to touch on one of the things that you mentioned in your speech here at the second Saturday, was that there's two big things still to be accomplished in Topeka, and that's the tax plan and budget. From a budget standpoint, what do you see coming out from his proposals?
Well, the reason why we're still dealing with those two major issues is because, one, we need to determine what our revenue stream is. We need to know what tax policy is going to be in place to determine our budget. We have a Senate proposal, we have a House proposal on both issues. One, on the tax plan, the Senate's proposal is retaining the 1 cent sales tax that was implemented 3 years ago, set to sunset the 1st of July. The governor, when he ran and encouraged a number of Republicans to challenge Democrats that supported the 1 cent sales tax, although it was a temporary sales tax for 3 years, this governor wants to maintain that sales tax. So he's going to, again, put a tax increase on the table. And at the same time, he's going to continue to cut the budget to those programs that are very important to Kansans, very vital to working in efficient, effective government. That being public education, public safety, as well as the revenue sharing that goes back to our local communities. It's going to put us all in jeopardy in reference to be able to provide good government at a good, efficient value.
Now, when they promote sales tax as opposed to spreading it out, balancing it over property tax and income tax, and putting it all on sales tax, who is impacted the most by that?
Middle income and the poor. This tax policy, both tax policies, Senate and the House, it has cuts, but even the amount of cuts that this governor inflicted by signing his tax cuts for last year that gave the most wealthy of Kansas large businesses, 191,000 businesses, tax cuts. That burden is going to be borne by the middle income family and the poor. And when you look at the amount of cuts and the cuts to the deductions that families value, such as the home mortgage deduction, such as the adoption credit that we have out there, the earned income tax credit, the home property tax deduction, to eliminate those, to continue to give tax breaks to big business, that's not good policy. That's not what Kansans deserve. We deserve better.
Definitely, and I completely agree with you. For Sunflower Brew Television, we are here with Representative Tom Burroughs, the Assistant Minority Leader in Topeka there. So, sir, thank you very much. Pleasure having you on the program.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.